different meditation techniques or reasons to meditate?
Because they had toxics back then. They were cleaning the system out during the days of the pharaohs, okay?
Recognize each other's uniqueness at each, because God has a plan for both of you.
And I can have a baby and I can raise a child without you. That's kind of a shot at the male spirit.
Well, hello. It is Friday and it is June the 10th. Can you believe it? Happy Friday. It's Twyla Jenkins here. It's the founder. I am the founder and CEO of the I Am That Woman movement and retreat. Super excited to have you with me again this Friday. What are we talking about this month? Self-care, something that is so important. We're talking about reconnecting, refocusing, and renewing our spirits. And what better way to do that than at the I Am That Woman movement and retreat coming up this October 26th through the 30th at the Hilton Marco Island. Hello, Shiree. Yes, good afternoon. We are super excited about today's show because we're going to be talking about not only this year, who's coming up and our speakers, but we're going to be talking to one of our past speakers, the one and only, my sister, my beautiful sister, Dr. Portia Lockett out of Detroit. She's absolutely amazing. She came, you guys, and just brought the house down. Shiree, be a testament to this woman. In 2019, she is in Detroit doing so many good things. We're going to talk a little bit about her career, who she is, and why she has joined the I Am That Woman movement, and what you can expect this year at the retreat. Well, as you know, the I Am That Woman movement and retreat is all about your health and wellness. We provide information, resources, and events to help you live your best life holistically, mind, body, and spirit. And why do we do that? Because we believe that African American women, more than any other race, deal with more stress, anxiety, being overwhelmed, having to be mothers, having to be in the boardroom, in the community. We just do so much, and we don't have to put out the statistics on our health as far as where we are with diabetes, heart disease, breast cancer. There's so many dis-ease in our community, which is causing us to have higher rates of disease than any other population, any other female population. So we are here to help us with that. We are here to talk to health practitioners, to talk to therapists and counselors, as the intro said, and as you saw, some of the people that we have talked to in the past, to help you live your best life. Even I was talking to my beautiful sister, Shiree, who's with us now, earlier today about how we manage our self-care. And that is what we are doing. And even we put together a plan, a 30-day plan. I was having a conversation with Elsie Cardell earlier, who hopefully will be one of our speakers, trying to work some scheduling things out for this year. And we were talking about how we plan so much for the future that we sometimes forget to be in the present. Sometimes we forget just to think about what it is that we need to do now, taking those deep breaths, taking in our current situation. Sometimes we're playing so much to what's next. We're not even playing and praying about what's now. And so we're going to be talking about that today with Dr. Lockett as well. Another announcement, part of our wellness edition, is golf. Golf is one of the best ways and best sports that you can get out and do. So you can get out and do our golf outing. We've adjusted the date. I forgot to tell Diamante. It is now August the 14th. It's a Sunday, but you can catch our early birds rates. Actually, we're going to be even doing early bird rate for the 4th of July. So you have a little bit more time. And guess what? Whether you are an avid golfer, whether you've never picked up a golf club before and you want to learn, or rather you are just starting to golf, we have 3 options for you. Yes, 3 options. And so we're changing that date. Allie's going to be sending you the new promotion. But August the 14th, Sunday, August the 14th, we are going to be doing a wonderful golf outing. And again, you can choose to do 9 holes, 18 holes, or come out and be with the golf pro. So we'll be sending you more information about that. But let's get our show started, because I'm ready to talk to this sister who is so powerful and has so much to share today. And I'm going to bring her on now. Hey, Dr. Lockett.
Hello, Twyla Jenkins. How are you, my love?
I am wonderful. How are you today?
Oh, it's an amazing day. Detroit is shining bright. We had this most beautiful rainbow over our city yesterday. We had a little drizzle, some rain, but God showed us that after the storm, I'm going to send you a rainbow.
That's always so beautiful.
I'm just carrying that sense of colorfulness with me all day today. So that's where I'm at today. I'm in that space of being colorful.
Yes, I'm loving those colorful earrings and that colorful necklace. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am super excited. I know who you are, but there may be some people who tuned in now or a little later who might not know who Dr. Portia Lockett is. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Lockett. Who is this amazing woman?
Well, first of all, before I say anything about what I do, I am a child of God, and I'm very, very proud of it. I'm Dr. Portia Lockett. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm an author. I'm an encourager. I am a grief recovery specialist and one of the past presenters at the I Am That Woman movement, whose life was changed and mesmerized because of that experience. And my purpose in life is to be able to make a difference in everyone's life that crosses my path. And so my day-to-day is I help people as they are going through the grieving process, regardless of if it's the loss of a child, the loss of their work, the loss of hope. So that's my purpose, to give people hope, help them heal, offer them hope, and hold their hearts in the process. And I'm just excited about being here again with you, my sister Twyla.
Absolutely. And you do that so well. You do some work. We've gone through this pandemic, Dr. Lockett, and so many of us have been on the front lines, and you've been right there. What was your experience with going through the pandemic and what you do, especially helping those with grief? How have you been able to even manage? Because I'm sure during the pandemic, there was a lot of people, more than you have probably ever seen. Tell us about your own frontline experience during the pandemic.
Well, you know what? It was, for me, it was very confusing at the very beginning. I'm sure for me, like it was so many other people, because it was the fear of the unknown. Like, where did this come from? How is this going to impact our lives? Is this something that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our lives? If it's just in the United States, if it's worldwide, and how are we going to move forward? And even in the process of me having some fear, I'm just going to be honest. I think we all had a glimpse of fear in our lives, and trying at the same time of giving people hope. Not only just the patients that were coming into the hospitals and their families prohibited from coming into the hospitals, but the workers that were there day in and day out, even with the nurses and the doctors and the PCAs and the folks that have to clean up and dietary services, everyone that came into the hospital came in with the intention of helping people every single day that had to come into the hospital because they didn't have a choice. And so there were some individuals who said, you know what, I can't do this because I'm not going to take a chance of putting myself in the space of catching COVID and then taking it home to my family. And then there were family members who said, you know what, I'm not sure if I have this. I don't want to be around anybody. So we just kind of closed ourselves off. So our whole mindset of how we would consider to be the norm shifted. It changed. And so for those of you who saw me in the last couple of years, I had locks for 20 years and I went to the afro. And then when COVID hit, man, I went to a COVID cut. I cut everything out that was not essential. I mean, literally, I took off the hair, took off the lashes, took off my nails, took off everything. So
we all did it.
Oh my God. So everything just shifted. It's like, you know what? I just want God to see me for who I am. I don't want anything covering up who I am. So when it's time for him to call my name, I don't want to be confused with anybody else. I want him to see me.
So we did go down to the bare essentials, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And so, I'm laughing now, but I did a lot of crying because I just didn't know what to say. getting phone calls 24/7, people asking me, can you give me any information about my loved one? Because as you remember, we shut down the hospitals. If you were not an essential worker, you were not allowed to come into the hospital, period. So if you think about the HIPAA laws, usually we can't give out any information unless we could just see you and we could authorize that you were the representative of that family or that person that was hospitalized.
Right.
And so we just had to do something different. Everything, how we operated, completely changed.
Wow.
So being in that space, as I said before, helping folks to heal, trying to communicate, trying to understand which streams were coming in, as we are still receiving streams of the Omicron virus. And so helping people just to give them hope and just saying, we're going to make it through. Keeping my face, stretched out, my hands stretched out and just saying, God, you got to give me strength every single day. Thank you for using me as a vessel, but God, I'm afraid you got to help me every day.
Right. Yeah,
and,
it was definitely.
We're praying and, we're praying specifically for the frontline workers, not only in the hospital, but the EMT drivers that had to get the folks to the hospital, the firefighters, police officers, everybody. We were calling them out every single day.
Yeah. It's definitely and continue to do so, because I think, as I was saying when I had my conversation earlier with Elsie Cardell, we sometimes soon to forget, just yesterday, but we're still in it. I've been in so many meetings this week, and we've been talking about, we actually know more people now with COVID. I think just with the vaccine, we don't have as many people dying because we, have gotten the vaccine, and the boosters and things like that. But it seems like people are still getting sick. It seems like even in our circle, there's still so many people are still getting sick. But during that time, and with what you're dealing with, we all had to go deep. So what did you do? I mean, we know that prayer, like you said, and meditation. Did you do anything differently during that time when so much was being asked of you and when you were going through so much uncertainty?
Oh, absolutely. I had to do a lot of self-care myself. So we had this whole regimen, and I made some changes in the things that I was putting into my temple. I did a lot of fasting, during that time. I was straight up every single day. I was taking my vitamin B12, my vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, oregano, and I had some other herbs that my son, who is practices holistic medicine, was giving to me. I mean, literally every day I was coming home and I was boiling water and putting slices of oranges and lemons and ginger and just breathing in to make sure that my nostrils, my respiratory system was cleansed out every single day. And just as you said, just staying in the presence of God. Yeah. I didn't do a lot of watching TV. I was like, you know what? Anything that was not essential, I'd watch just enough news to keep up with what was going on. But I spent a lot of time praying with people and counseling people and talking to people because, you think about it. People were losing loved ones. I lost my sister, at the very beginning of COVID, and we could not even celebrate her life until 6 months later. She passed in March, and we couldn't celebrate her life until September. Yeah. So, and we weren't the only ones. So imagine having to wait that long period of a time to bring some type of a closure to your loved one.
So many people had to go through that. I mean, my neighbor who also came to the retreat, she lost her husband. She too had to wait to do a memorial service, probably around 6 months or so. So many people could not see their loved ones in the hospital, could not celebrate their life at a funeral home. So we really have gone through so much in these past 2 years, and some still going through the loss of jobs. So grief, I learned through someone I was interviewing, is not just the loss of a person or a loved one. Grief can come in many forms. So in what you do, how do you counsel those who are dealing with grief? And what are the magnitudes of grief, Dr. Lockett?
So as you said, there are so many different levels of grief. So some people lost income. Some people lost hope. Some people lost loved ones. Some people lost their limbs, as you said before. Some people lost pets. So you can think about anything that you can possibly lose, losing a relationship, going through a divorce, because, children are separated, from the school systems and their normal activities. No one can go anywhere. So, we would normally get up in the morning, everybody say, good morning, have a blessed day, and keep on moving. And we come back together maybe about 5 or 6 o'clock. But now you've got this whole family, and sometimes merging families all in one household. And everybody's kind of like, wait a minute, hold on. I love you, but I don't like you, So
Right.
getting people through that is kind of just, be patient with each other, be patient with yourself, be kind to others, and be kind to yourself during this time. So there was a lot of counseling that were going on because people were discovering some things about themselves that they didn't know.
Yeah.
And people didn't even want to admit it.
Yeah.
So, when you acknowledge that you need some issues and you need to be able to get some help, as you're going through that journey and going through the process of grieving, there's a recovery process too. Taking a look at what it is and analyzing and assessing what the situation is. What can I do about it? Where can I go for help? What do I need in order to move forward? Or is this some place that I want to just stay? Do I want to stay stuck? Do I want to continue to dig deeper until I find myself in a depressive state of mind?
Yeah.
And so help people to get through that process.
Yeah, helping people to get through that process. And I think another thing that COVID did with shutting us down, you said something really key. Sometimes we're moving so much, we have a tendency to just brush things under the rug, and having to be still or sit, at home, or, be in the same space that we're used to getting out, because that was a loss too.
Yes.
Loss of movement.
Yes.
Lots of activity, lots of being able to do, things on go here and go there. For a while there, we could not go anywhere and do anything. And now just the opposite. So now we're having to get back out. Now we're having some of us going back into the office. And that's also been an adjustment. And that too sometimes is a mental and emotional type of situation that we don't know how to deal with. And so with you doing grief counseling, with those who have lost, sometimes coming back or having to make an adjustment, are you finding that people that you're counseling with are also having to deal with now the change of kind of coming out of COVID?
Oh, absolutely. Because there's another shift. Change is constant. And so that's the thing that I try to remind individuals of. Change is going to continuously happen, but how we respond to change is key. What do you have to do to adapt? Some people are still working from home. Some, they have hybrid programs going on with work as well as with schools. I was having a session with some young folks the other day, and they were saying, throughout my senior year of high school, I was in school, out of school, hybrid, in school, out of school. And now I'm graduating. It's just like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so if you can imagine, if our children are going through this, going to the workplace and still having the children in and out, and you're trying to manage, from work, your office, and then you've got this boss that's saying, you're spending too much time on the phone, you can't be at your desk, FaceTiming your children, and people are just like, you know what, I can't do this. I'm throwing my hands, I don't know what to do. And so helping people again, walk through the process, take a deep breath, and remember, it's not the end of the world. And if it is the end of the world, guess what? We still don't have anything to worry about.
That's right. That's right. So that brings us to the I Am That Woman movement, and why it's so important for women to come to the retreat this year, to reconnect, to refocus, and to renew their spirits. You were one of our magnificent speakers in 2019. Share what that experience was like for you in 2019, Dr. Lockett.
Oh my goodness. How can I say, it was just beyond amazing. And I've been on a lot of retreats, right? But this I Am That Woman movement retreat, as I said before, it changed me. It changed me. Even though I was there as a presenter, I just gained so much knowledge from the other presenters, and just the knowledge and wisdom. And I just had a chance to sit next to at dinner and at lunch, sidebar conversation. I mean, the room was just filled with just so much love. It's like the sisters just gave the love that they needed to receive. And so it was constantly everybody was just on a high. It was just if we talk about Tia Lifford and how she did the whole play with the shit, had us all moving, and she just got real and raw. Sometimes when you see our sisters, in movies and in screen so forth, they're all dialed up and they're all, but Tina came, she was raw, she was real. It was like, whoa, okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. And then when you had Regina Bell getting up and ministering and giving her whole testimony, and then Linda Johnson Rice took us, and Connie Lindsay, oh my goodness, and then Mickey Taylor, oh my goodness. And so the way I look at this year, Twyla, it's like we've had so much build up over these past 3 years that I think the women that are coming this year, their spirits and their minds and their souls are going to be just so open to receive whatever we present this year. I think at least I am. I'm just like, I don't care who it is. I just know I'm going because I just want to be in the presence of these like-minded women. Yeah. You have just done a magnificent job. And so I'm just excited about it.
We're super excited about what's going to be happening this year. So we're doing a deep dive into who we are as African-American women. We're really looking at our DNA from those shores to these shores. I said it last week. Hey, Sister Bradley, so glad you could join us, Deatrice. But we said it last week. I said it in my intro about what I would be talking about this week, this month, every Friday. We are promoting the retreat because I don't want women to miss that it's only a $300 deposit in order for you to lock in your $1,100 rate. If this is your first time attending, an $875 rate if you have attended before, excuse me. And so I just want to get it out there this month, because this is our last month for early bird. And I want these women to know that it's well worth it. I think after 2 years of being in COVID, now more than ever, we definitely need to reconnect. We haven't been together. And I think, that solitude that we had to go through, we did find out a lot about ourselves. And I think it's time for us to reconnect and talk about what we found out. I found out about, how I deal with my own mental and emotional awareness. I had a wake-up call today about my own stress level. I tested negative for COVID, but then there's still like this cough. It could be allergies because allergy season is like horrible right now. I've been reading about that. But anyway, I called my doctor and she said, you know what I want you to do? I want you to detox. And so sometimes we have to be reminded about the self-care that we need for ourselves, because we have a tendency to take care of everybody else, right? And so I'm doing the movement, I'm planning the retreat, I'm still working strategic events, but we do have to still take care of ourselves, our mental and emotional wellness. And Sister Bradley, I want you to know that Dr. Lockett is a specialist in grief counseling. I'm not sure if you heard her talking earlier, but Deatrice just lost her mother this week, and the homegoing service was this week. So I just wanted her to know that our prayers are with her, and she can certainly reach out to you, because every Monday morning, Dr. Lockett is with us, because morning mindfulness is how we start the day off at the retreat. And we do exercise and we pray and we meditate. And I believe that's the best form of self-care that you can do. And so, Dr. Lockett, tell us about what's your routine like. I know that's what we do at the retreat. What's your own personal self-care routine in the morning time?
Well, you know what? As soon as I rise up, I'm thanking God. Normally I wake up at about 5:45, but as of late, I've been waking up at exactly 5:44, which is 1 minute before my alarm goes off. And it's just God just saying, you don't need an alarm. I'm going to wake you up. I've got you. And so I go into my meditation. I go into my prayer. I usually do my exercises, stretches, first thing in the morning, because I know I'm just going to be on the go for the next 10 or 12 hours. I try to make sure that I'm working out at least 5 times a week. And even if it's just, my weights or, riding my bicycle or going for long walks, and just doing the things that I love. Sometimes we just think that we have to have this regimen, but I like change. I like doing things that are fun, that are exciting, that bring me joy, that make me feel good, because we're always in a mindset of making sure that everybody else is feeling good, everybody else is okay. And sometimes I have to, on a daily basis, I have to do a self-check and just say, Portia, are you okay? Are you breathing? How you feel? Are you loving on yourself today? What did you do special for yourself? Did you tell yourself you love yourself? So I have to have these conversations with myself in the mirror. And sometimes I'm in the middle of my workday in the bathroom and I know people are standing outside saying, who's she talking to? I'm talking to myself. I have to talk to myself saying, I love myself. Remind myself, I love myself. I need to take care of myself. What can I do more to take care of me? Because I'm the most important person in my life. If I can't take care of me, I can't take care of anybody else. So
and that's exactly what we teach also at the retreat, Portia, is how we take care of ourselves. That self-talk. You did something that was so profound in 2019 when you asked some women to come up to the stage and you asked them to pick up what it is that they have been carrying for so long, because sometimes our past, a lot of times, especially I believe in our culture, is that we allow our past to dictate our present and our future because of that mind talk and that self-talk and that self-hurt and that self-pain. We start with self-love. We talk about, and we're doing a deep dive on our self-love for who we are as African-American women this year. We're going to talk about why is it so hard for us to love ourselves, but we give out so much to others. So we're going to take a little commercial break. Y'all going to see Portia in this little 1 minute video that we're going to show you right now to give a little recap about what the I Am That Woman retreat is about. Take a look. All right. Y'all saw Dr. Lockett in there doing her thing. And we are going to have some other ladies here doing their thing as well. We cannot wait. We are securing our speakers. You guys are going to be seeing some of those in July, and even this month we're going to continue to talk to those who have attended, either as a past speaker or a past attendee. I am super excited. Dr. Lockett, what do you think is one of the most important reasons why women should attend the I Am That Woman retreat this year, unlike any other time?
As I said before, we have so much that has been built up, and we need to be able to come to a safe place, safe space, so that we're able to release all the pressures of the world, because we're the ones who held it all together. We held mama together, we held daddy together, we held our children together, we held our men together, we held our sons together, we held the world together. We are the one, we birthed this world. You know, they always talk about his story, but it's really her story, because without our story, there is no story. We birthed the world. So at this retreat, when women come, again, being with like-minded women, where you can get poured into. So whatever it is that you need, if you need inspiration, if you need motivation, if you need to know how to meditate and do yoga, or just to learn how to just sit still and just take notes and learn and free your mind of any past thoughts that have been preventing you from moving forward in your life. If you've been trying to start a business and you've been contemplating, or someone has said some things to you of like, why are you trying to move forward? Why are you trying to change? These are women that will tell you, yes, you can. You will walk away. I do believe when you come in with that mindset of, I can, I will. And when you walk out, you'll say, I did it. I can, I will, I did that thing. I went to the retreat and I'm so thankful and grateful that I did. And they're going to be running home and making phone calls. Girl, you should have been here. I'm telling you, it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm just, girl, don't look. We can go
I
on and
know.
on.
Honestly, of course, I want every woman who I know to come. I actually was going to dinner the other day, and I ran into one of my girlfriends who came, and she was having dinner with a girlfriend who wasn't there, and she said literally she was calling me and was like, "Oh my God, you should be here. You need this. This is so powerful. It's the best thing that I've ever seen." Susan Taylor said the same thing. Like literally, it's the best experience and conference. It's something that we all need. And so something that you said that is very key, we do offer a safe space. And so we saw so many women literally let go in this safe space of things that they have been holding on to for so long. And as Shiree said, we need to retreat from all of the stress. We have been under so much stress. There's so much stress in the environment, in the world. We know that we have energy going on around us. And so to protect our minds, something that you said was that you don't watch a lot of news, but enough. I read the news because if you watch the news, that can stress you. Your kids can stress you. Your community can stress you. Your job can stress you. And we know that stress creates dis-ease. And before we know it, dis-ease turns into a disease. And so we need to get away and learn these practices of how to rebuild our bodies and how to rebuild our minds and how to empower each other. I think another thing that we do, did you meet a few friends? Did you meet a few people, Dr. Lockett, that you didn't know that you've even stayed in contact with?
Yes. And you know what? I didn't come to, first of all, I didn't really know exactly what to expect, you know.
Uh-oh, we lost Dr. Lockett for a minute. Okay, there she is.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But I walked away with so much more than that I anticipated. I was blessed to make a connection with a few sisters that we kept on our connections after the retreat. I walked away with a few contracts and a few opportunities to speak at several other organizations. That was a blessing. I wasn't anticipating that, but God said yes, and I said yes, and I just walked through it.
Awesome.
I was really full. I was just blessed beyond measure, Twyla. You know, when we met and our spirits just immediately connected, and we were like intertwined, like we had been sisters forever. And it was just a blessing to me. I remember when we were, in the middle of the workshop, and we talked about we were becoming. Who are we becoming? Who are we evolving into? You know, as women, as wives, as business women, and who are we becoming? And what do we need to let go of, as you said? And then we took that moment to pour into each other when we got into our sister circle. And some women have never experienced another sister pouring into them, let alone 12 women encircling them and pouring into them. And the tears just flowed because I've never experienced. And we even took it outside the room, and some of the women wanted to do it by the pool. And it was just like, it was flow. And so everyone that presented had something. We just kind of like build up on each other and build up. It was just like, it's this evolving piece that we didn't know. You couldn't have planned that.
That's nothing but God.
Yes. He was present. He was like, I got this. He was like behind the scenes doing his thing. And it was just.
Yes. God is so amazing.
Yes.
And so, and it's just a beautiful experience to just see how the speakers literally build on each other. That's something that as good of an event planner as I am and conference planner, and as long as I've been doing it, truly, this is a spiritual and divine endeavor that he puts together. Every speaker building on the other. It's not only personal development, but it is professional development, because you can't be your best professional self if you're not your best personal self. So I pray that those corporations out there should send their women. They should really send their executive C-suite ladies to come and to experience this, because professionally they will be able to perform so much better once
Yes.
they have been poured into professionally and personally. And so we also get that experience. So it's just dynamic. And again, I can't wait. We're going to have Valerie Tyler coming back doing our fitness. I'll be leading prayer, because every morning, Monday through Friday, Dr. Lockett leads us in prayer for morning mindfulness. We got to start showing Diamante. I don't know if that's in our arsenal or not, but we definitely need to start showing our our morning mindfulness, where we can call in. This is the beautiful Dr. Lockett who leads us in the prayer on Mondays. And I just believe that every day, when you start your day in prayer and meditation, when your spiritual foundation is the rock of your life, your life will change. When you have a life of prayer and meditation, it doesn't mean that it's easy, but we do have a daily practice that will help you to mitigate some of this stress. You know, I had to encourage myself this week. I had to change some things this week. I had to have my own meetings with me and others around me to say, listen, I'm finding that, and this cold was even a wake-up call, because I was like, where did this come from? I usually don't get sick. And so I was like, okay, I've been sick a little too much. I'm like, what's really going on? And I think it's stress. And I think it's just like Elsie was saying, we get so wrapped up in the future that we don't stay in the present. And so I just had to take some time to say, you know what? Let me be a little bit more present in what I'm doing every day. Had a meeting with a project manager. So whoever's in your life, in your household, at work, go have a meeting with your boss. Talk to him. Sometimes we just need to talk to those people in our inner circle to let them know what we're going through and pour into them. So something that, hey, Diva, thank you for joining. So Aurora, appreciate you. We got another Soror on the line, Dr. Lockett. That is Diva Jones. That's my ace. Yes. And so I just wanted to give you that shout out. Something that Sister Bradley said. She said, I wake up at 3 a.m. every morning, but haven't been doing that since my mom passed away. It's hard. Any advice, Dr. Lockett, that you would give with her just losing her mother and going through some grief? And it seems as if, you know, some things are off center a little bit. What would you encourage her to do?
Embrace your grief. Don't let anyone define you or tell you how long it is. Matter of fact, I'm going to share this with you, because Sunday I was actually sitting on my couch and I was having a moment. I was thinking about my son, and God spoke to me and he gave me this piece, and it basically said, sometimes I need an ear to listen without any specific time associated with it. Sometimes I need a hug without someone asking me why. Sometimes I need to shed a tear without someone trying to cheer me up. And sometimes I just need some time to grieve. So whatever that means to you, my sister, you know, take all the time that you need. If you need to scream, if you need to holler, if you need to run, if you need to yell, just don't lose yourself. And if you do for a moment, find yourself, surround yourself with people who will encourage you and love on you, but not judge you. Because sometimes people, especially in this day and age, we get 2 weeks. Next, take the time that you need. You know yourself more than anyone else. Come up with a plan. When I do my grief recovery, you know, I said, let's try to do something different every week. So 1 week it could be, let me deal with all the legal stuff, or you start. Next week, I'm going to make sure that I'm just getting out the bed, period, because sometimes I just don't feel like moving, period. Yeah. The next week, you know, plan to go for a walk and just acknowledge, just take a moment just to smell and notice the things that are around us, because sometimes as women, we move so fast that we forget to notice the things that are around us, noticing the leaves on the trees and noticing the flowers, noticing, take off your shoes and just, you know, move your feet through the grass and get grounded. Do the things that you enjoy. Don't allow anyone to pressure you to do anything that you don't want to do. And don't forget to ask for help. When people say, what can I do? And it's not always about money. I always say, whatever God places on your heart to do, whatever you think you would need if you were in this space, I would gladly receive it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And sometimes we need rest. So perhaps just not getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, your body is telling you that you need rest. And so get that rest that you need, because sometimes we get on routine, and and when something happens, when we're traumatized, our body really does tell us what we need to do, whether we need more water, whether we need more rest, whether we need more time to ourselves or with others. So just listening, I say all the time, my saying is be still, be quiet, and be open. So just allow God to lead you and comfort you. And like you said, Dr. Lockett said, take the time. So as much time as you need to take the time. So Dietrich, you know that we are here for you. We're loving on you. We're praying for you. And we will continue to do so, because I know in her situation, it happened so quickly. Her mother literally went in the hospital, was in ICU. And the next thing we know, she was making her transition. So sometimes that's hard as well. But know that we are definitely here for you, and anything that we can do. We're certainly here to do that. So we want you to know that. So Dr. Lockett, as we have been talking about the I Am That Woman movement, our retreat, our annual retreat, October 26th through the 30th, we're super excited. You're going to be in the house. So many others are going to be in the house. I'm going to be securing our contracts again. We start off, you all, in daily mindfulness. We start off the retreat just like we encourage you to do every day. Start with prayer and meditation. Start with sorry, I forgot to put my phone on do not disturb. Starting with prayer, meditation, and exercise. That's a beautiful time and a beautiful way to start your day. And then we're taking a deep dive into African American women, who we are, our DNA. We're going to lift up some of those burdens and some of those past hurts, pains, traumas, dramas, challenges, obstacles, just like Tina Lifford told us to do before. We're going to remind ourselves about self-love. We're going to do a deep dive into those shores to these shores, and what that means. And so I am so happy that you were able to join us today and give us a little bit of a nugget on what you learned before, what you shared before. And like you said, it's not only in the ballroom, it's at the pool, it's at the beach, it's at the shopping experience, it's the private boat cruise that we're going to do, it's the networking, it's the camaraderie, it's the love. There's just so much that you are going to experience. What would you say in closing to that woman out there who might be on the fence or just now hearing about it? What would you say to encourage her to make that deposit?
Yes, if you want a life-changing experience, some of those things that we get caught up in doing, making sure that our hair is done every 2 weeks, nails done, the whole 9 yards, make some sacrifices. We do everything we want to do. We have to be intentional about taking care of ourselves and taking ourselves away from our day-to-day. And I promise you, I guarantee you that if you come to this retreat, you will be so overwhelmed with so much love. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Just come and just let us love on you. I'm going to be in the background this year, but I'm going to give myself an assignment, Twyla. I'm going to be the CLO. That's the Chief Love Officer, making sure.
I'm like in the background. No, she's not, y'all. She's not going to be in the background. She might be in the back giving out hugs, but she ain't going to be in the background.
But I'm taking on that assignment. But I mean, I'm just on a serious note. You're just going to be blessed beyond measure. And it's an experience. And don't forget about the spa treatments, because we're going to be in a spa. Don't forget about the vendors that will be there selling items. And it's just going to be just an overall blessing. It's going to be everything that we say and we say we want to do when we talk about our mantra.
It's so much more. The mantra. I'm so glad you reminded me about the mantra. I sent it to you. I want you to say our mantra. Please share the I Am That Woman movement mantra.
Yes, I am. I am loved and loving, spiritual, courageous, whole, worthy, enough. A Black woman, a high achiever, a child of God, a giver, successful, prosperous across aspects of my life, true to myself, forgiving of myself and others, beautiful inside and out, vulnerable, messy, frustrated, and discouraged at times, but always innately powerful, non-judgmental, creative, wise, receptive, teacher who is teachable, well and whole, resilient and undeniable, undefeated, flourishing and ever evolving, mindful of my legacy, a dreamer, determined to be the best version of myself. I am part of the I Am That Woman movement. Come to the retreat.
Yes, that was a beautiful way to wrap up our interview. That's right. I am that Shiro. I absolutely love our mantra. Thank you, Ella Gibson, for writing our I Am That Woman movement mantra. We're going to have that on some of our materials because that sums up who we are, all of us. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Lockett, for your time. I love you, my sister. May you continue to be blessed. May God continue to pour out so much on you, your household. We didn't talk about your story, your own personal story with losing your son suddenly in a tragic car accident. So you know this thing about grief. And sometimes God will send us and take us through some things that, even when we give out so much to others, we got to learn how to apply it to ourselves. And so I told Elsie today earlier, I said, I can't preach and teach what I'm not applying to my own life. And so I got to start doing my own self-care. So we'll share that story. And perhaps you'll share that at the retreat because all have gone through so much. And so maybe I'll build in some time for us to all share our personal stories. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we all have a story. When I was talking to my doctor, she said, Twyler, everybody is going through something. I don't care where they live, how much money, what they drive, and what their titles are. Everybody is going through something. And so maybe that's a part of our reconnecting. It's just sharing and loving on each other. But I love it, sister. You always in my prayers. You are always, always, always on my mind. And I'm always lifting you up because I know you're always lifting me up. Thank you so much again for your time today.
My pleasure. Love everybody. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Dr. Portia Lockett, the amazing, incomparable, the one and only up in Detroit, working and doing things and making so much happen. All right. We got an updated video about our golf outing that's coming up in August, Dr. Lockett. I think you heard me talking about that. It was going to be in June, but we've shifted the date. So I think Diamante has a little announcement for us about our upcoming golf outing. Diamante, you ready? You going to play that? All right. So y'all got that? You can do 18 holes, 9 holes, or you can just come and learn how to golf with a golf pro. So whatever it is, wherever you are in your golf process, come on out. August 14th, it's a Sunday. So you can come on out, join us. It's a full lunch buffet. We're going to have a good time, y'all. That wraps our show for today. Join us Monday morning, every Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. It's morning mindfulness. It's something that we all need. We got to stay mindful, y'all. We got to stay prayed up. We got to learn how to do some meditation. We got to do some deep breathing just to make it today. I'm telling you, we need it. It's a conference call line, 605-313 5104, access code 345235. You don't want to miss it. Me and Dr. Lockett will be on the line on Monday morning, so make sure that you join us. That wraps our show for the day. I appreciate you joining us. Have a very, very blessed weekend. Bye.